John with PT, Dan with Sailing Training, PTS
Hey,
Dan.
John. How you doing, John?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm good, John.
Excellent. Let's talk about lawnmowers.
Oh, no.
First, let's start with the. Do you own one?
I do not.
I don't either. Probably haven't owned a mower in 15, almost 20 years now.
Mm.
Mm. I used to like enjoying the quiet, the peace and quiet. That kind of faded with time.
Yeah.
Here's where it comes into sales, and then I understand you have an exciting story to share, maybe disturbing, exciting. I don't know. But it comes into play where when I owned lawnmowers, I don't even know if they still have this, but they had a primer button, and you pressed it 3 or 4 times. It infused a little bit of gasoline in, made it a little bit easier to start. We joke about recording these, and the first couple can be a little rough around the edges until we kind of get into a flow. And so we've started spending 5-10 minutes just of banter time up front, because that kind of gets us going and helps that side of things. I think there's a piece to this that comes in with sales of priming yourself, getting yourself ready for a meeting. We have a joke about a guy who does push-ups before, those kinds of things. But can you talk about sort of that relationship of sales and energy and getting somebody going before they engage?
Oh, boy. So you hit me with a bunch of different things there. Let me try to go down two paths here.
Okay.
Number one, when you're meeting a prospect for the first time, that first meeting is a primer meeting. They're trying to
Yes.
figure out, who are you? Do I like you? Do I think you're an expert? Do I trust you at all? And aren't we in sales doing the same for the prospect? Do I trust you? Do
Yep.
I like you? Do I want to work with you? John, when your company sets initial appointments for your clients, that first meeting is a primer meeting. Let's just
Yep.
get to know each other a little bit. And unfortunately, a lot of salespeople try to make that first meeting as a sales meeting. Let's dive right into business and
Yeah.
let me come back with a quote. And it's just too soon. So that needs, in my world, if someone's going to buy from me, they first need to come to a class, or they need to have an initial conversation with me just to get to know each other, or they need to come hear me talk somewhere. So that's my primer. And so I would encourage anybody listening to this, what's your primer?
Yeah.
What is it you can do to get people to know who you are a little bit more and trust you before they actually start to talk business? So from that perspective, that would help. In the sales world, we have to be energized, but not overly. Like, we don't want to come, you know what I mean?
I
Uh,
do.
we have to be very sure of ourselves. We have to be very well prepared. We have to know how we're going to run this call. We have to know what objections we typically hear, how we're going to respond. And at the end of the day, we have to have a simple process where people can buy. And
Yep.
we have to know what that is. And so we have to spend time and effort working on that before we actually meet with someone.
There we go. So I preface this with, you had an interesting lawnmower story.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
I can't let that go. You have to share with the crowd.
I, well, okay. So when I was in high school, one of my teachers had lost a lot of fingers. And the reason was he was cutting his grass and decided to trim his hedges with his lawnmower. And when he picked up the lawnmower from underneath, that's when he lost all of his fingers. So I don't know what that has to do with priming, but you won't forget that story.
That's right. For everybody's benefit, as we were getting ready to have this quick conversation here, he shared the story. Dan shared the story, and Lee and I in the background went, "Oh."
Yep.
And then I wanted to know what he teaches, and
I
kind
don't
of went off
know.
the rails at that
I don't
point.
remember.
Yeah. Prime that lawnmower. Don't use it as a hedge trimmer.
All right. Yep. All right,
See
John. Have a good one.
you too.